In delivering my son from me, I bury a second husband.
And dying going, madam, weep, or my father's death anew. But I must attend his majesty's command, to whom I am now in ward, evermore in subjection.
What hope is there of his majesty's amendment?
He hath abandoned his physicians, madam.
This young gentlewoman had a father. Would for the king's sake he were living. I think it would be the death of the king's disease. He was famous, sir, in his profession, and it was his great right to be so. Gerard de Narbonne.
What is it, my good lord, the king languishes of?
A fistula, my lord.
I heard of it not.
I would it not notorious. Was this gentlewoman the daughter of Gerard de Narbonne?
His sole child, my lord, and bequeathed to my overlooking. I have those hopes of her good that her education promises. She derives her honesty and achieves her goodness.
Your commendations, madam, get from her tears.
'Tis the best brine a maiden can season her praise in. No more of this, Helena. Go to, no more, lest it be rather thought you affect a sorrow than have it.
I do. I affect a sorrow indeed, but I have it too.
Moderate lamentation is the right of the dead. Excessive grief, the enemy to the living.
If the living be enemy to the grief, the excess makes it soon mortal.
Madam, I desire your holy wishes.
How understand we that?
Be thou blessed, Bertram, and succeed thy father in manners as in shape. Thy blood and virtue contend for empire in thee, and thy goodness share with thy birthright. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Be checked for silence, but never taxed for speech. Farewell, Bertram. 'Tis an unseasoned courtier. Good my lord, advise him.
He cannot want the best that shall attend his love.
Heaven bless him. Farewell, Bertram.
The best wishes that can be forged in your thoughts be servants to you. Be comfortable to my mother, your mistress, and make much of her.
Farewell, sweet lady. You must hold the credit of your father.
Oh, were that all? My imagination carries no favor ends but Bertram's. I am undone. There is no living, none, if Bertram be away. 'Twere all one that I should love a bright particular star, and think to wed it. He is so above me. But now he's gone, and my idolatrous fancy must sanctify his relics. Who comes here? One that goes with him. I love him for his sake, yet know him a notorious liar, solely a coward, think him a great way fool, cold wisdom waiting on superfluous folly.
Save you, fair queen.
And you, monarch.
No.
And no.
Are you meditating on virginity?
Aye, you have some stain of soldier in you. Let me ask you a question. Man is enemy to virginity. How may we barricado it against him?
Keep him out.
But he assails, and our virginity, though valiant in the defense yet, is weak. Unfold to us some warlike resistance.
There is none. Man, sitting down before you, will undermine you and blow you up.
Bless our poor virginity from underminers and blowers up. Is there no military policy how virgins might blow up men?
Virginity being blown down, man will quicklier be blown up. Marry, in blowing him down again with the breach yourselves made, you lose your city. It is not politic in the commonwealth of nature to preserve virginity. Loss of virginity is rational increase, and there was never virgin got till virginity was first lost. That you were made of is metal to make virgins. Virginity, by being once lost, may be 10 times found. By being ever kept, it is ever lost. 'Tis too cold a companion. Away with it.
I will stand for it a little, though therefore I die a virgin.
There's little to be said in it. 'Tis against the rule of nature. To speak on the part of virginity is to accuse your mothers, which is most infallible disobedience. Keep it not. You cannot choose but lose by it. Out with it.
How might one do, sir, to lose it to her own liking?
'Tis a commodity will lose the gloss with lying. The longer kept, the less worth. Off with it while it is vendible. Answer the time of request. Your date is better in your pie or your porridge than in your cheek. And your virginity, your old virginity, is like one of our French withered pears. It looks ill, it eats dryly. Marry, 'tis a withered pear. It was formerly better. Marry, yet 'tis a withered pear. Will you anything with it?
Not my virginity yet. There shall your master have 1,000 loves, a mother, a mistress, and a friend, a phoenix, a captain, and an enemy, a guide, a goddess, and a sovereign, a counselor, a traitress, and a dear. Now shall he, I know not what he shall. God send him well, the court's a learning place, and he is one
What one, i' faith?
that I wish well. 'Tis pity.
What's pity?
Monsieur Parolles, my lord calls for you.
Little Helen, farewell. If I can remember thee, I will think of thee at court.
Monsieur Parolles, you were born under a charitable star. Our remedies oft in ourselves do lie, which we ascribe to heaven. The fated sky gives us free scope. Only doth backward pull our slow designs when we ourselves are dull. What power is it which mounts my love so high, which makes me see but cannot feed mine eye? The mightiest space in fortune nature brings to join like likes and kiss like native things. Impossible be strange attempts to those that weigh their pains in sense and do suppose what hath been cannot be, is so show her merits that did miss her love. The king's disease. My project may deceive me, but my intents are fixed, and will not leave me.
The Florentines and the Senois are by the ears, have fought with equal fortune, and continue a braving war.
So 'tis reported, sir.
Nay, 'tis most credible. We here receive it. What's he who comes here?
It is the Count Roussillon, my good lord, young Bertram.
Ha. Youth, thou bearest thy father's face. Frank nature, rather curious than in haste, hath well composed thee. Thy father's moral parts mayest thou inherit too. Oh. Welcome to Paris.
My thanks and duty are your majesties.
I would I had that corporal soundness now as when thy father and myself in friendship first tried our soldiership. He did look far into the service of time and was disciplined of the bravest. He lasted long, but on both did haggish age steal on and wore us out of the act. Oh, it much repairs me to talk of your good father. In his youth he had the wit which I can well observe in these young lords. who were below him he used as creatures of another place, and bowed his eminent top to their low ranks. Oh, making them proud of his humility. In their poor praise he humbled. Such a man might be a copy to these younger times.
His good remembrance, sir, lies richer in your thoughts than on his tomb. So in a proof lives not his epitaph as in your royal speech.
Would I were with him. Oh, he would always say, methinks I hear him now. Let me not live, quoth he, after my flame lacks oil. I, after him, do after him wish to. I fill a place, I know it. How long is it, Count, since the physician at your father's died? He was much famed.
Some 6 months since, my lord.
If he were living, I would try him yet. Oh, lend me an arm. The rest have worn me out with several obligations. Welcome, Count. My son's no dearer.
Thank your majesty.
I will now hear. What say you of this gentlewoman?
Madam, the care I have had to even your content, I wish might be found in the calendar of my past endeavors.
May be found in the calendar of my past endeavors.
What is this knave here? Get you gone, Sarah.
'Tis not unknown to you, madam, I am a poor fellow.
Well, sir?
No, madam, 'tis not so well that I am poor, though many of the rich are damned. But if I may have your ladyship's goodwill to go to the world, Isabel, the woman, and I will do as we may.
Wilt thou needs be a beggar?
I do beg your goodwill in this case.
In what case?
In Isabel's case and mine own.
Tell me thy reason why thou wilt marry.
My poor body, madam, requires it. I am driven on by the flesh, and he must needs go that the devil drives.
Is this all your worship's reason?
Faith, madam, I have other holy reasons, such as they are.
May the world know them.
I have been, madam, a wicked creature, as you, and all flesh and blood are, and indeed I do marry that I may repent.
Thy marriage sooner than thy wickedness.
A prophet, I, madam, and I speak the truth in the next way. For I the ballad will repeat, which men full true shall find. Your marriage comes by destiny, your cuckoo sings by kind.
Get you gone, sir. I'll talk with you further anon.
May it please you, madam, that he bid Helen come to you? Of her I am to speak.
Sarah, tell my gentlewoman I would speak with her. Helen, I mean.
Was this the fair-faced cause, quoth she, why the Grecian sack Troy fond, undone fond? Was this King Priam's joy? With that she sighed as she stood, with that she sighed as she stood, and gave this sentence then. Among 9 bad if one be good, among 9 bad if one be good, there's but one good in 10.
What? One good in 10. You corrupt the song, Sarah.
One good woman in 10, madam, which is a purifying of the song. 1 in 10, quoth they, and we might have but one good woman born, but one every blazing star, or at an earthquake, 'twould mend the lottery well. A man may draw his heart out, ere a pluck one.
You'll be gone, sir knave, and do as I command you.
that man should be at woman's command, and yet no hurt be done. Though honesty be no Puritan, yet it will do no hurt. It will wear the surplice of humility over the black gown of a big heart. I'm going, forsooth. The business is for Helen to come hither.
Well, sir.
I know, madam, you love your gentlewoman entirely.
Faith, I do. Her father bequeathed her to me, and she herself, without other advantage, may lawfully make title to as much love as she finds. There is more owing her than is paid, and she shall find that she's paid more than she'll demand.
Madam, I was very late, more near her than I think she wished me. Alone she was, and did communicate to herself her own words, to her own ears. She thought, I dare vow for her, they touched not any stranger sense. Her matter was, she loved your son. This she delivered, in the most bitter touch of sorrow that e'er I heard virgin exclaim in, which I held my duty speedily to acquaint you withal.
You have discharged this honestly. Pray you, leave me. Stall this in your bosom, and I thank you for your honest care. I will speak with you further anon. It is the show and seal of nature's truth, where love's strong passion is impressed in youth. Her eye is sick on't. I observe her now.
What is your pleasure, madam?
You know, Helen, I am a mother to you.
Mine honorable mistress.
Nay, a mother. Why not a mother? When I said a mother, methought you saw a serpent. What's in mother that you start at it? When I say I am your mother, you ne'er oppressed me with a mother's groan, yet I expressed to you a mother's care. God's mercy, maiden, what's the matter that this distempered messenger of wet, the many-colored iris rounds thine eye? Why? That you are my daughter?
That I am not.
I say I am your mother.
Pardon, madam, the Count Roussillon cannot be my brother. I am from humble, he from honored name, known upon my parents, his own noble, my master, my dear lord he is, and I his servant live, and will his vassal die. He must not be my brother.
Nor I your mother.
You are my mother, would you were, so that my lord, your son, were not my brother, indeed my mother, or were that I your daughter, he must be my brother.
Yes, Helen, you might be my daughter-in-law. God shield you mean it not. Daughter and mother so strive upon your pulse. What? Pale again? My fear hath catched your fondness. Now I see. You love my son. Invention is ashamed against the proclamation of thy passion, to say thou dost not. Therefore, tell me then, but tell me true. 'Tis so, for look, thy cheeks confess it, the one to the other. Speak, is't so?
Good pardon, noble mistress.
Do you love my son?
Your pardon, good madam.
Love you, my son?
Do not you love him, madam?
Go not about. My love hath in't a bond whereof the world takes note. Come, come, disclose the state of your affection, for your passions have to the full appeached.
Then I confess, For high heaven and you, that before you and next unto high heaven, I love your son. My friends were poor, but honest, so's my love. Be not offended, for it hurts not him that he is loved of me. I follow him not. I know I love in vain, strive against hope, yet in this captious and untenable sieve, I still pour in the waters of my love, and lack not to lose still. Oh then, give pity to her whose state is such that cannot choose but lend and give, where she is sure to lose, that seeks not to where her search implies, but riddle like, live sweetly where she dies.
Had you not lately, speak truly, an intent to go to Paris?
Madam, I had.
Wherefore? Tell true.
I will tell truth by grace itself, I swear. You know my father, he left me some prescriptions, more than they were in note. Amongst the rest, there is a remedy set down, approved, to cure the desperate languishings whereof the king is rendered lost.
But think you, Helen, if you should tender this supposed aid, he would receive it? How shall they credit a poor unlearned virgin?
There's something in it more than my father's skill, which was the greatest of his profession. But would your honor give me leave to try success? I'll venture the well-lost life of mine on his grace's cure by such a day and hour.
Dost thou believed?
I, madam, knowingly.
Why, Helen, thou shalt have my leave and love. Be gone tomorrow, and be sure of this. What I can help thee to, thou shalt not miss.
Farewell, young lords. These warlike principles do not throw from you.
'Tis our hope, sir, after well-entered soldiers to return and find your grace in health.
No, no, it cannot be. Farewell, young lords. Whether I live or die, be you the sons of worthy Frenchmen. Oh. See that you come not to woo honor, but to wed it. Find what you seek, that fame may cry you loud. I say farewell.
Health, at your bidding, serve your majesty.
Those girls of Italy, take heed of them. They say our French lack language to deny if they demand. Beware of captives before you serve.
Our hearts receive your warnings.
Farewell.
Oh, my sweet lord, that you will stay behind us.
Is not his fault the spark?
Oh, 'tis brave wars.
Most admirable. I have seen those wars.
I am commanded here, and kept a coil with too young, and the next year, and 'tis too early.
And thy mind stand to it, boy. Steal away bravely.
I shall stay here, the 4-horse to a smock, walking my shoes on the plain masonry, till honor be bought up, and no sword worn, but one to dance with? By heaven, I'll steal away.
There's honor in the theft.
Commit it, Count.
I am your accessory, and so farewell.
I grow to you, and our parting is a tortured body.
Farewell, Captain.
Sweeten as your parolles.
Mars dote on you for his novices. What will you do?
Stay the king.
Use a more spacious ceremony to the noble lords. You have restrained yourself within a list of too cold an adieu. Be more expressive to them, for they wear themselves in the cap of the time. There do muster true gait, eat, speak, and move under the influence of the most received star. And though the devil lead the measure, such are to be followed. After them, and take a more dilated farewell.
And I will do so.
Worthy fellows, and like to prove most sinewy swordman.
Pardon, my lord, for me and my tidings.
I'll fee thee to stand up.
Good faith across. But, my lord, 'tis thus. Will you be cured of your infirmity?
No.
Oh, will you eat no grapes, my royal fox? Yes, but you will my noble grapes, and if my royal fox could reach them. I have seen a medicine that's able to breathe life into a stone, whose simple touch is powerful to give great Charlemagne a pen in his hand and write her a love line.
What her is this?
Why, Dr. She, my lord. I spoke to one that in her sex, her years, profession, wisdom, and constancy hath amazed me more than I dare blame my weakness. Will you see her, for that is her demand, and know her business? That done, laugh well at me.
Now, good LaFeU, bring in the admiration.
Nay, I'll fit you, and not be all day neither. Nay, come your ways.
This haste hath wings indeed.
Nay, come your ways. This is his majesty. Say your mind to him.
Now, fair one, does your business follow us?
Ay, my good lord, Gerard de Narbonne was my father, and what he did profess, well found.
I knew him.
The rather I will spare my praises toward him, knowing him is enough. On his bed of death he gave me many receipts, chiefly one, and hearing your high majesty is touched with that malignant cause wherein the honor of my dear father's gift stands chief in power, I come to tender it, and my appliance with all bound humbleness.
We thank you, maiden, but may not be so credulous of a cure.
My duty then shall pay me for my pains. I shall no more enforce mine office on you.
Thou thought'st to help me, and such thanks I give, as one near death to those that wish him live. But what at full I know, thou knowest no part. I know in my peril thou no art.
What I can do no hurt to try, since you set up your rest against remedy. He of greatest works is finisher, oft does them by the weakest minister. So holy writ in babes hath judgment shown, when judges have been babes, great floods have flown from simple sources, and great seas have fried when miracles have by the greatest been denied. Oft expectation fails, and most oft there where most it promises, and oft it hits, where hope is coldest and despair most fits.
I must not hear thee. Fare thee well, kind maid. Thy pains not used must by thyself be paid.
Dear sir, to my endeavors give consent. Of heaven, not me, make an experiment. I am not an impostor that proclaim myself against the level of my name. But know I think, and think I know most sure, my art is not past power, nor you past cure.
Art thou so confident? Within what space hopest thou my cure?
The greatest grace, lending grace, ere twice the horses of the sun shall bring their fiery torture, his diurnal ring. What is infirm from your sound parts shall fly, health shall live free, and sickness freely die.
Upon thy certainty and confidence, what darest thou venture?
With vilest torture let my life be ended.
Methinks in thee some blessed spirit doth speak his powerful sound within an organ weak. Thy life is dear, for all that life can rate, worth name of life in thee hath estimate. Youth, beauty, wisdom, all courage, all that happiness and prime can happy call. Sweet practicer, thy physic I will try, that ministers thine own death if I die.
If I break time or flinch in property of what I spoke, unpitied, let me die. And well deserved, not helping, death's my fee. But if I help, what do you promise me?
Make thy demand.
But will you make it even?
Aye, by my scepter and hopes of heaven.
Then shalt thou give me, with thy kingly hand, what's husband, and thy power I shall command.
Here is my word, the premises observed. Thy will by my performance shall be served, so make the choice of thine own time. For I, thy resolved patient, on thee still rely. Give me some help here, ho! If thou proceed as high as word, my deed shall match thy meed.
Come on, sir. I shall now put you to the height of your breeding.
I will show myself highly fed and lowly taught. I know my business is but for the court.
To the court. Why? What place make you special when you put off that with such contempt? But to the court.
Truly, madam, if God had lent a man any manners, he may easily put it off at court. A man who cannot make a leg, put off's cap, kiss his hand, and say nothing, has neither leg, hand, lip, nor cap, and that fellow, to say precisely, were not for the court. But for me, I have an answer that will serve all men.
Mary, that's a bountiful answer that fits all questions.
It is like a barber's chair that fits all buttocks. The pin buttock, the watched buttock, the brawn buttock, or any buttock.
Will your answer, sir, fit to all questions?
As fit as your French crown for a taffeta punk. Ha! As Tibbs' rush for Tom's forefinger. As the nail to his hole, the cuckold to his horn, as a scolding queen to a wrangling knave, as the nun's lip to a friar's mouth, nay, the pudding to his skin.
I play the noble housewife with the time to entertain so merrily with a fool. An end, sir, to your business. Give Helen this, and urge her to a present reply back. Commend me to my kinsman and my son. This is not much.
Not much commendation for them.
Not much employment for you. You understand me?
Most fruitfully. I am there before my legs.
Haste you again.
They say miracles are past.
Nay, 'tis strange, 'tis very strange. That is the brief and tedious of it.
Great power, great transcendence, which should indeed give us a further use to be made. than alone the recovery of the king, as to be generally thankful.
I would have said it. You say well. Here comes the king.
Lustig, as the Dutchman says, I'll like a maid the better, whilst I'll have a tooth in my head.
Morte vinaigrette! Is not this Helen?
For God, I think so.
Go, call before me all the lords in the court. Go sit thy preserver by thy patient side, and with this healthful hand, whose banished sense thou hast repealed, a second time receive the confirmation of my promised gift, which but attends thy naming. Fair maid, send forth thine eye. This youthful parcel of noble bachelors stand at my bestowing. Thy frank election make. Thou hast power to choose, they none to forsake.
Gentlemen, heaven hath, through me, restored the king to health.
'Tis
We
likely a miracle.
understand why
Thank
thou art
heaven
here.
for you.
Please it your majesty, I have done already. The blushes in my cheeks thus whisper me, we blush that thou shouldst choose, but be refused. Let the white death sit on thy cheek forever, or we'll never come there again.
Make choice and see. Who shuns thy love, shuns all his love in me.
Now, Diane, from thy altar do I fly, and to imperial love, that God most high, do my sighs stream. Sir, will you hear my suit? You are too young, too happy, and too good to make yourself a son out of my blood.
Fair one, I think not so.
I dare not say I take you, but I give me and my service ever whilst I live into your guiding power. This is the man.
Why then, young Bertram, take her. She's thy wife.
My wife? My liege, I shall beseech your highness in such a business. Give me leave to use the help of mine own eyes.
Knowest thou not, Bertram, what she has done for me?
Yes, my good lord. But never know why I should marry her.
Thou knowest she has raised me from my sickly bed.
But follows it, my lord, to bring me down must answer for your raising? I know her well, a poor physician's daughter. My wife? Disdain, rather corrupt me ever.
'Tis only title thou disdain'st in her, the which I can build up. If she be all that is virtuous, save what thou dislikest, a poor physician's daughter, thou dislikest a virtue for the name. Yet good alone is good without a name. She is young, wise, fair. In these to nature she's immediate heir, and these breed honor. What should be said? If thou canst like this creature as a maid, I can create the rest. Virtue and she is her own dower. Honor and wealth from me.
I cannot love her, nor will strive to do it.
Thou wrong'st thyself if thou shouldst strive to choose.
That you are well restored, my lord. I'm glad. Let the rest go.
My honor's at the stake, which to defeat I must produce my power. Here, take her hand, proud, scornful boy, unworthy this good gift. It is in us to plant thine honor where we please to have it grow. Oh, check thy contempt. Obey our will which travails in thy good, or I will throw thee from my care forever. Speak thine answer.
Pardon, my gracious lord. I find that she, which was late in my nobler thoughts most base, is Now the praise it of the king, who so ennobled is as 'twere born so.
Take her by the hand and tell her she is thine. To whom I promise a counterpoise, if not to thy estate, a balance more replete.
I take her by the hand.
Good fortune and the favor of the king's smile upon this contract, whose ceremony shall be performed tonight. As thou lovest her, thy love's to me religious, else does err.
Do you hear, monsieur? A word with you.
Your pleasure, sir.
Your lord and master did well to make his recantation.
Recantation. My lord. My master.
Aye, is it not a language I speak?
A most harsh one, and not to be understood without bloody succeeding. My master.
Are you companion to the Count Roussillon?
To any count. To all counts. To what is man?
To what is Count's man? Count's master is another style.
You are too old, sir. Let it satisfy you. You are too old.
I tell you, Sarah, I write man, to which title age cannot help thee.
My lord, you give me most egregious indignity.
Your lord and master's marriage. 'Tis news for you. You have a new mistress.
Undone and forfeited to cares forever.
What's the matter? Sweetheart.
Although before the solemn priest I have sworn, I will not bed her.
What? Sweetheart?
My parolles, they have married me. Out to the wars. And never bed her.
France is a dog hole, and it no more merits the tread of a man's foot. To the wars!
It shall be so. I will take her to my mother, acquaint my hate with her, and tell my mother wherefore I am fled. Right to the king, that which I durst not speak, whose present gifts shall flourish me to those Italian fields where noble fellows strike. War is no strife to the dark house and the detested wife.
Will this capriccio hold in thee? Art sure?
Go with me to my chamber and advise me. I'll send her straight away. Tomorrow I'll to the wars, she to her single sorrow.
My mother greets me kindly. Is she well?
She is not well, but she has her health.
Bless you, my fortunate lady.
I hope, sir, I have your will to have mine own good fortunes.
You had my prayers to lead them on, and to keep them on, have them still. Oh, my knave, how does my old lady?
So that you had her wrinkles and I her money, I would she did as you say.
Why, I say nothing.
Marry, you are the wiser man, for many a man's tongue shakes out his master's undoing. To say nothing, to do nothing, to know nothing, and to have nothing is to be a great part of your title. which is within a very little of nothing.
Away! Thou art a knave. Madam, my lord will go away tonight. A very serious business calls on him.
What's his will else?
That you will take your instant leave of the king.
What more commands he?
That, having this obtained, you presently attend his further pleasure.
And everything I wait upon is well.
I shall report it so.
I pray you. Come, sirrah.
But I hope my lordship thinks not him a soldier.
Yes, my lord, and a very valiant approof.
You have it from his own deliverance.
And by other warranted testimony.
Oh, then my dow goes not true. I took this lark for a bunting.
It may be you have mistaken him, my lord.
And shall do so ever. Farewell, my lord. And believe this, trust him not in matter of heavy consequence.
These things shall be done, sir.
Is she gone to the king?
She is,
Will she away tonight?
as you'll have her.
I have written my letters, casketed my treasure, given order for our horses, and tonight, when I should take possession of the bride, and ere I do begin, here comes my clog.
I have, sir, as I was commanded from you, spoke with the king and have procured his leave for present parting. Only he desires some private speech with you.
I shall obey his will. You must not marvel, Helen, at my course, so much unsettled. This drives me to entreat you, that presently you take our way for home, and rather muse than ask why I entreat you. This to my mother. Will be 2 days ere I shall see you, so I leave you to your wisdom.
Sir, I can nothing say but that I am your most obedient servant,
Come, no more of that.
and ever shall with true observance seek to eke out that, to equal my great fortune.
Let that go. My haste is very great. Farewell. Hie home.
Pray, sir, your pardon.
Well, what would you say?
Something, and scarce so much. Nothing, indeed. I would not tell you what I would, my lord. Vague, yes. Strangers and foes do sunder and not kiss.
I pray you, stay not, but in haste to horse.
I shall not break your bidding, good my lord.
Farewell. Go, thou toward home, where I will never come whilst I can shake my sword or hear the drum. Away, and for our flight.
Bravely, Coraggio.
It hath happened all as I would have had it, save that he comes not along with her.
By my troth, I take my young lord to be a very melancholy young man.
Let me see what he writes and when he means to come. What have we here?
Even that we have there.
I have sent to you a daughter-in-law. She hath recovered the king and undone me. I have wedded her, not bedded her, and sworn to make the knot eternal. You shall hear I am run away. Know it before the report come. If there be breath enough in the world, I will hold a long distance my duty to you, your unfortunate son, Bertram. Not well? Rash and unbridled boy, to fly the favors of so good a king.
Save you, good madam.
Madam, my lord is gone. Forever gone.
Not say so.
Think upon patience. Pray you, gentlemen, where is my son?
Madam, he's gone to serve the Duke of Florence.
Look on his passport. Here's his letter. When thou canst get the ring upon my finger, which never shall come off, and show me a child begotten of thy body that I am father to, then call me husband. But in such a then, I write never. This is a dreadful sentence.
I prithee, lady, have a better cheer, as thou art all my child. Towards Florence is he,
Ay, madam,
and to be a soldier.
such is his noble purpose. Till I have no wife, I have nothing in France.
Find you that there?
Ay, madam.
Nothing in France until he have no wife. There is nothing here that is too good for him, but only she, and she deserves a lord. Gentlemen, I will entreat you, when you see my son, to tell him that his sword can never win the honor that he loses. More, I'll entreat you written to bear along.
I serve you, madam.
Until I have no wife, I have nothing in France. Nothing in France until he has no wife. Is it I that drive thee from the sportive court where thou wast shot at with fair eyes, to be the mark of smoky muskets? Oh, you leaden messengers that ride upon the violent speed of fire, fly with false aim, do not touch my lord. Whoever shoots at him, I sent him there, and though I kill him not, I am the cause. I will be gone. My being here it is that holds thee hence. Come night and day, for with the dark, poor thief, I'll steal away.
Alas, and would you take the letter of her? Might you not know she would do as she has done by sending me a letter? Read it again.
I am Saint Jaques pilgrim, thither gone. Ambitious love hath so in me offended, that barefoot plod I the cold ground upon, with sainted vow my faults to have amended. Right, that from the bloody course of war my dearest master, your dear son, may hie. Bless him at home in peace, whilst I from far his name with zealous fervor sanctify. His taken labors bid him me forgive. I, his despiteful Juno, sent him forth from courtly friends with camping foes to live, where death and danger dogs the heels of worth. He is too good and fair for death and me, whom I myself embrace, to set him free.
Oh, what sharp stings are in her mildest words. Rinaldo, you did never lack it by so much as letting her pass so. Right, Rinaldo, to this unworthy husband, let every word weigh heavy of her worth. When haply he shall hear that she is gone, he will return. Provide this messenger. My heart is heavy, and mine age is weak. Grief would have tears, and sorrow bids me speak.
Nay, come, for if they do approach the city, we shall lose all the sight.
They say the French count has done most honorable service.
It is reported.
Well, Diana, take heed of this French earl. The honor of a maid is in her name, and know legacy is so rich as honesty.
I have told my neighbor how you have been solicited by a gentleman, his companion.
I know the knave. Hang him, one PAROLLES, a filthy officer in the suggestions of the young Earl. Beware of them, Diana. Their promises, enticements, oaths, tokens, and all other engines of lust are not the things they go under. Many a maid hath been seduced by them. I hope I need not to advise you further.
You shall not need to fear me.
I hope so. Look, here comes a pilgrim. God save you, pilgrim. Whither are you bound?
To Saint Jacques Le Grand, where do the Palmers lodge, I do beseech you?
At the St. Francis, here beside the port.
Is this the way?
Aye, merriest. Oh. Hark you, they come. If you will tarry, holy pilgrim, but till the troops come by, I will conduct you where you shall be lodged. The rather, I think, for I know your hostess as ample as myself.
Is it yourself?
If it please you, pilgrim.
I thank you, and will stay upon your leisure.
You came, I think, from France.
I did so.
Well, here you shall see a countryman of yours that's done worthy service.
His name, I pray you.
The Count Roussillon. Know you such a one?
But by the ear that hears most nobly of him, his face I know not.
Whatsoe'er he is, he's bravely taken here. He stole from France, as 'tis reported, for the king married him against his liking. Think you it is so?
I, surely, mere the truth. I know his lady.
There is a gentleman that serves the count, reports but coarsely of her.
What's his name?
Messer Parolles. Alas, poor lady! 'Tis a hard bondage to be the wife of a detesting lord.
I warrant, good creature, wheresoe'er she is, her heart weighs sadly. This young maid might do her a shrewd turn if she pleased.
How do you mean? Maybe the amorous count solicits her in the unlawful purpose.
He does indeed. But she is armed for him and keeps herself in honest defense.
The gods forbid else.
Look you, they come. That is Antonio, the Duke's eldest son. Oh, that Aeschylus.
Which is the Frenchman?
He, that with the plume, 'tis a most gallant fellow. I would he loved his wife. If he were honester, he were much goodlier. Is not a handsome gentleman.
I like him well.
'Tis pity he is not honest. Yon's that same knave that leads him to these places. Were I his lady, I would poison that vile rascal.
What's his name?
He's that jackanapes with the scarves. Why is he melancholy? Look, he has spied us.
Mary, hang you!
And your curtsy for a ring carrier.
The troop is past. Come, pilgrim, I shall bring you where you shall host.
I humbly thank you.
Now I will lead you to the house of the lass I spoke of.
But you say she's honest.
That's all the fault. I spoke with her but once, and found her wondrous cold. But I sent to her tokens and letters which she did resend.
Ah.
And this is all I have done. She's a fair creature. Will you go see her?
With all my heart, my lord.
You misdoubt me that I am not she. I know not how I shall assure you further, but give me trust. The Count, he is my husband, and what I have spoken to your sworn council is so from word to word.
I should believe you, for you have showed me that which well approves your great in fortune.
Take this purse of gold, and let me buy your friendly help thus far, which I will overpay and pay again when I have found it. The Count, he woos your daughter. Let her in fine consent, as will direct her how 'tis best to bear it. Now his important blood will not deny that she'll demand a ring the Count he wears, that hath downward succeeded in his house from son to son. This ring he holds in most rich choice, yet in his idle fire, to buy his will, it would not seem too dear, howe'er repented after.
Now I see the bottom of your purpose.
You see it lawful, then it is no more but that your daughter, ere she seems so as one, desires this ring, and appoints him an encounter, in fine delivers me to fill the time, herself most chastely absent. After this, to marry her, I'll add 3,000 crowns to what has been passed already.
I have yielded. Instruct my daughter how she shall persever, that time and place with this deceit so lawful yet may prove coherent. Every night he comes as if his life lay on't.
Why then, tonight let us assay our plot, which, if it speed, is wicked meaning in a lawful deed, and lawful meaning in a lawful act. We're both not sin, and yet a sinful fact. But let's about it.
They told me your name was Fontabelle.
No, my good lord, Diana.
Titled goddess. You are no maiden, but a monument. And now you should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty, such, my lord, as you owe to your wife.
I prithee, no more of that. I was compelled to her, but I love thee, and will do thee all right of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us with our bareness.
How have I sworn?
'Tis not the many oaths that make the truth, but the plain single vow that's vowed true. If I should swear by God's great attributes I loved you dearly, would you believe me when I did love you ill? This has no holding to swear by him whom I protest to love that I will work against him. Therefore your oaths are words and poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Change it. Change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and my integrity ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with. Stand no more off, but give thyself into my sick desires, who then recover. Be art mine, and my love as it begins shall so persever.
I see that men may ropes in such a snare that we forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no means to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor, belonging to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose.
Mine honors such a ring. My chastity's the jewel of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world, and me to lose. Thus your proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring, my house, mine honor, yea, my life. Be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my chamber window. When you have conquered my yet maiden bed, remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong, and you shall know them when back again this ring shall be delivered. And on your finger in the night, I'll put another ring, that what in time proceeds may token to the future our past deeds. Adieu till then fail not. You have won a wife of me, though there my hope be done.
A heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
For which live long to thank both heaven and me. You may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo, as if she sat in's heart. She says all men have the like oaths. He had sworn to marry me when his wife's dead, therefore I'll lie with him when I am buried. Since Frenchmen are so brayed, marry that will, I live and die a maid. Only in this disguise I think to no sin, to cousin him who would unjustly win.
You have not given him his mother's letter?
I have delivered it an hour since. There's something in it that stings his nature. For on the reading it, he changed, almost into another man.
He has so much worthy blame laid upon him for shaking off so good a woman and so sweet a lady.
Especially he hath incurred the everlasting displeasure of the king, who had even tuned his bounty to sing happiness to him. I will tell you a thing, but you shall let it dwell darkly with him.
When you have spoken it, 'tis dead, and I am the grave of it.
He hath perverted a young gentlewoman here in Florence, of a most chaste renown. And this night he fleshes his will in the spoil of her honor. He hath given her his monumental ring, and thinks himself made in the unchaste composition. We shall not then have his company tonight.
Not till after midnight, for he is dieted to his hour.
That approaches apace.
Sir, his wife, in the tenderness of her nature, became as prey in her grief. In fine, made a groan of her last breath, and now she sings in heaven.
How is this justified?
The stronger part of it by her own letters. Her death itself was faithfully confirmed by the rector of the place.
Hath the Count all this intelligence?
Aye. Here comes his lordship now. How now, my lord? It's not after midnight.
I have tonight dispatched with the Duke, done my due with his nearest, buried a wife, mourned for her, writ to my lady mother I am returning home, entertained my convoy, and between these main parcels of dispatch effected many nicer needs. The last was the greatest, but that I have not ended yet.
If the business be of any difficulty, then this morning you are to part your hence. It requires haste of your lordship.
I mean, the business is not ended. As fearing to hear of it hereafter.
His Grace is at Marseille, to which place we have convenience convoy. You must know that I am supposed dead. The army breaking, my husband hies him home, where heaven aiding, and by the leave of my good lord the king, will be before our welcome.
Gentle madam, you never had a servant to whom your business was more welcome.
Nor you, mistress, ever a friend whose thoughts more truly labor to recompense your love. Doubt not, but heaven hath brought me up to be your daughter's dower, as it hath fated her, to be my motive and helper to a husband. You, Diana, under my poor instructions, yet must suffer something in my behalf.
Let death and honesty go with your impositions. I am yours upon your will to suffer.
Yet I pray you, yet be as sweet as sharp. We must away. Our wagon is prepared, and time revives us. All's well that ends well still, defines the crown. Whate'er the course, the end is the renown.
No, no, no. Your son was misled with that villainous sniff taffeta fellow there. If not, your daughter-in-law had been alive and your son here at home.
Parolles,
Aye.
I would that I had not known him. It was the death of the most virtuous gentlewoman that ever nature had praised for creating. If she had partaken of my flesh and cost me the dearest groans of a mother, I could not have owed her a more rooted love.
'Twas a good lady, 'twas a good lady. And I was about to tell you, since I heard of the good lady's death, and that my lord your son was upon his return home to speak on the behalf of my daughter, there is no fitter matter. How does your ladyship like it?
With very much content, my lord.
Oh, madam, yonder is my lord, your son, with a goodly patch of velvet on his face. Whether there be a scar under it, the velvet knows, but 'tis a goodly patch of velvet.
Let us go see your son, I pray you. I long to talk with the young noble soldier.
But the succeeding, posting day and night, must wear your spirits low. Oh, happy time. This man may help us to his majesty's ear, if he would spend his power. God save you, sir.
And you?
Sir, I have seen you in the court of France.
I have been sometimes there. What's your will?
That it will please you to give this poor petition to the king, and aid us with that store of power you have to come into his presence.
The king's not here.
Not here, sir.
Not indeed. He hence removed last night, and with more haste than is his use.
Lord, how we lose our pains.
All's well that ends well, yet, though time seems so adverse and means unfit, I do beseech you, whither is he gone?
Marry, as I take it, to Roussillon, whither I am going.
I do beseech you, sir, since you are like to see the king before me, commend the paper to his gracious hand. I will come after you with what good speed our means will make us means.
This I'll do for you.
And you shall find yourself to be well thanked.
We lost a jewel of her, and our esteem was made much poorer by it. But your son, as mad in folly, lacked the sense to know her estimation home.
'Tis past, my liege, and I beseech your majesty to make it natural rebellion, done in the blaze of youth, when oil and fire too strong for reason's force o'erbears it and burns on.
My honored lady, I have forgiven and forgotten all. Though my revenges were high up bent upon him, and watched the time to shoot.
This I must say, but first I beg my pardon. The young lord did to his majesty, his mother, and his lady offense of mighty note, but to himself the greatest wrong of all. He lost a wife, whose beauty did astonish the survey of riches' eyes, whose words all ears took captive, whose dear perfection hearts that scorn to serve humbly called mistress.
Praising what is lost makes the remembrance dear. Well, call him hither. We are reconciled. Let him approach.
I shall, my liege.
What says he to your daughter? Have you spoke?
All that he is hath reference to your highness.
Then we shall have a match. I have letters sent me that sets him high in fame.
Mhm. He looks well on it.
I am not a day of season, so stand thou forth. The time is fair again.
My high repented blames, sovereign, pardon to me.
All is whole, not one word more. You remember the daughter of this lord.
Admiringly, my liege. At first I stuck my choice on her.
Well, thou didst love her. Send forth your amorous tokens for fair Maudlin. The main consents are had, and here we'll stay to see our widower's second marriage day.
Which better than the first? Oh dear, heaven bless.
On my son, in whom my house's name must be digested, give a favor from you, to sparkle in the spirits of my daughter that she may quickly come. By my old beard and every hair that's on it, Helen that's dead was a sweet creature, such a ring as that. The last that ere I took her at court, I saw upon her finger.
Hers it was not.
Now pray you let me see it, for mine eye while I was speaking oft fastened to it. This ring was mine. And when I gave it Helen, I bade her, if her fortunes ever stood necessity to help, that by this token I would relieve her. Had you that craft to relieve her of what should stead her most?
My gracious sovereign, however it pleases you to take it so, the ring was never hers.
Son, on my life, I have seen her wear it, and she reckoned it at her life's rate.
I am sure I saw her wear it.
You are deceived, my lord. She never saw it. From in Florence. Was it from a casement thrown me, wrapped in a paper which contained the name of her that threw it? Noble she was, and thought I stood engaged. But when I had subscribed to mine own fortunes, and admitted I could not go in that course of honor, as she had made the overture, she ceased in heavy satisfaction, and would never receive the ring again.
'Twas mine, 'twas Helen's, whoever gave it you. Confess 'twas hers, and by what rough enforcement you got it from her. She called the saints to surety that she would never put it from her finger unless she gave it to yourself in bed, where you have never come, or sent us upon her great disaster.
She never saw it.
Thou speakest it falsely. Thou didst hate her deadly, and she is dead, which nothing but to close her eyes myself could win me more to believe, more than this ring. Oh, take him away, away with him. We'll sift this matter further.
If you shall prove the ring was ever hers, you shall as easy prove that I husbanded her bed in Florence, where yet she never was.
I am wrapped in dismal thinkings.
Gracious sovereign, whether I have been to blame or no, I know not. Here's a petition from a Florentine with an importing visage, and she told me in a sweet verbal brief that it concern your highness with herself.
Upon his many protestations to marry me when his wife was dead, I blush to say it, he won me. Now is the Count Roussillon a widower. His vows are forfeited to me, and my honors paid to him. He stole from Florence, taking no leave, and I follow him to his country for justice. Grant it me, O king. In you it best lies. Otherwise a seducer flourishes, and a poor maid is undone. Diana Capulet.
I'll buy me a son-in-law in a fair and toll for this. I'll none of him.
The heavens have thought well on thee, LAFEU, to bring forth this discovery. Go seek these suitors. Go, speedily, bring again the Count. I am afeard the life of Helen, lady, was foully snatched.
Now justice on the doers.
I wonder, sir, since wives are monsters to you, and that you fly them as you swear your lordship, yet you desire to marry. What woman's that?
I am, my lord, a wretched Florentine, derived from the ancient Capulet.
Oh.
I am her mother? Sir?
Come hither, Count. Do you know these women?
My lord, I neither can nor will deny but that I know them. Do they charge me further?
Oh, why do you look so strange upon your wife?
My lord, this is a fond and desperate creature, whom sometime I have laughed with.
Good my lord, ask him upon his oath if he does think he had not my virginity.
What sayest thou to her?
She's impudent, my lord, and was a common gamester among the camp.
He does me wrong, my lord. If I were so, he might have bought me at a common price. Do not believe him. Oh, behold this ring, whose high respect and rich validity did lack a parallel. Yet, for all that, he gave it to a commoner of the camp. If I be one.
He blushes, and 'tis it. Of 6 preceding ancestors that gem. This is his wife. That rings 1,000 proofs.
She hath that ring of yours.
I think she has. Certain it is I liked her, and boarded her in the wanton way of youth, her infinite cunning, with her modern grace, subdued me to her rate. She got the ring, and I had that which any inferior at market price have bought.
I must be patient. You that have turned off a first so noble wife, since you lack virtue, I will lose a husband. Send for your ring, I will return it home, and give me mine again.
I have it not.
What ring was yours, I pray?
Sir, much like the same upon your finger.
Know you this ring? This ring was his of late.
And this was it I gave him, upon being abed.
The story then goes false. You threw at him out of a casement.
I have spoke the truth.
My lord, I do confess the ring was hers.
You boggle shrewdly, every feather starts you. Is this the man you spoke of?
Aye, my lord.
This ring was yours, you say?
Aye, my good lord.
When did you buy it, or who gave it you?
It was not given me, nor I did not buy it.
Who lent it you then?
It was not lent me neither.
Where did you find it then?
I found it not.
If it was yours by none of these ways, how could you give it him?
I never gave it him.
This woman's an easy glove, my lord. She goes off and on at pleasure.
This ring was mine. I gave it his first wife.
It might be yours or hers, for aught I know.
Take her away. I do not like her now. To prison with her, and away with him. Unless thou tellest me where thou hast this ring, thou diest within the hour.
I'll never tell you.
Take her away.
I'll put in bail, my liege.
I think thee now some common customer.
By Jove, if I ever knew man, 'twas you.
Wherefore hast thou accused him all this while?
Because he's guilty, and he is not guilty. He knows I am no maid, and he'll swear to it. I'll swear I am a maid, and he knows not. Great king, I am no strumpet by my life. I am either maid or this old man's wife.
She does abuse our ears. To prison with her.
Good mother, fetch my bail. Stay, royal sir. The jeweler that owes the ring is sent for, and he shall surety me. But for this lord, who hath abused me as he knows himself, though yet he never harmed me, here I quit him. He knows himself my bed he hath defiled. Yet at that time he got his wife with child. Dead though she be, she feels her young one kick. So there's my riddle. One that's dead is quick. And now behold the meaning.
Is there no exorcist beguiles the truer office of mine eyes? Is it real that I see?
No, my good lord, 'tis but the shadow of a wife you see, the name and not the thing.
Both. Both. Oh, pardon.
Oh, my good lord, when I was like this maid, I found you wondrous kind. There's your ring, and look you, here's your letter. It says, when from my finger you can get this ring, and are by me with child, etc. This is done. Will you be mine? Now you are doubly one.
My lord, if she can make me know this clearly, I'll love her dearly. Ever, ever dearly.
If it appear not plain and prove untrue, deadly divorce step between me and you.
Oh,
Oh, my dear mother, do I see you living?
Mine eyes smell onions. I shall weep anon.
Let us from point to point the story know, to make the even truth in pleasure flow. If thou beest yet an fresh uncropped flower, choose thy husband, and I'll pay thy dower. All yet seems well, and if it end so meet, the bitter past, more welcome is the sweet. The king's a beggar. Now the play is done. All is well end if this suit be one that you express content, which we will pay with strife to please you, day exceeding day. Ours be your patience then, and yours our parts. Your gentle hands lend us, and take our hearts.